Same thing the rest of the boys are thinking about. How I can earn me that $20,000 without anybody knowing I did or getting killed doing it. As the ranch hands walked toward the barn and corrals, they broke off into little clusters, each cluster watching the other to make sure nobody was eavesdropping on their conversation.
It looks like everybody's doing more than thinking about it now,
Benny said, rubbing his belly with both hands as though he were proud of how it hung over his belt buckle.
I ate too fast, Ned, and I'm going to get to the crappers because of it.
I don't give a shit if you get the shits.
No, Ned, I don't imagine you do. You're a loner. You work by yourself. You eat by yourself. You drink by yourself. You're kind of a mystery on this ranch.
Ned stopped in front of the main corral and shook a Marlboro out of its pack. He put the butt between his lips and slid the pack away from the cigarette and put it in his pocket without offering one to Benny. I'm not in the mood to play Columbo with you, Benny. So if you got something to say, say it. Benny nodded and rubbed the jowls that hung loose on his neck. He was jealous of Ned, and had been ever since first meeting him 3 years before. Ned was handsome, tan, and strong. Not the store-bought kind of strong that comes from wearing a tie and matching suspenders all week, then pumping a few weights at the fitness center, but the kind of strong that comes from working with his hands and every muscle in his body under the desert sun. It didn't matter that Benny was old enough to be his father. Hell, Benny never looked that good in his entire life.
Would you give a shit, Ned, if I told you I knew how we could get that $20,000?
Ned fingered a match out of his breast pocket and struck it against the corral post. He drew long and slow on the butt as the paper crackled and popped in the flame. Inside, he was feeling like the cigarette, burning and crackling with anticipation. He'd never seen that much money in one pile before, and like every hand working on the ranch, it was the kind of money that could only be dreamt about. Ned blew the match out as calmly as he'd lit it. So, why are you coming to me with your treasure map?
Well, 2 reasons, I guess. One, I can't do it alone. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I don't even know how much longer I can keep doing this work.
There was a sadness to Benny that was genuine. He was standing close to the outside of life, looking in at all the things that had passed him by. It was a place Ned tried not to think about, a place Ned knew he was heading to himself.
Second, I'm not greedy. I don't think you are either.
I'm impressed with how much you think you know about me. Benny shrugged his shoulders.
Okay, well, maybe you are greedy, but $10,000 can buy off a lot of greed.
Ned didn't say anything. He retrieved a second cigarette and used the half-lit one to light it. He then offered the half-smoked cigarette to Benny. Benny accepted it with a smile and asked,
So, we got a deal?
Tell me your plan.
First, tell me if we got a deal.
A quarter horse moved next to Ned and neighed in his ear. Ned stroked the quarter's long nose. Ever hear of a thing called horse sense? Well, my 4-legged friend here says I should do it. Yeah, we got a deal. Benny's smile dropped off his face, and he threw the cigarette on the ground.
If you try to do this on your own and cut me out of my half of the money, I'll kill you, Ned. I'm an old man and don't have much to live for.
The smile returned.
This'll be my last shot at going to Vegas and living like Wayne Newton.
Florence Turner came charging out of her house on